Yo, what is up everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence and welcome to another PE news video. Today we're going to be talking about Platinum Games and how they, one, want to own their own IP at this point, and they also discuss the challenges of the business and their future in the game industry. Talking to Platinum Games producer Atsushi Inaba. Inaba notes that they're currently working on licensed games like The Legend of Korra because they need to, but in the long term they want to be independent. The company doesn't really have a future unless we develop our own original IPs. Platinum currently owns none of the IPs they've worked on, including Scalebound, despite being partnered with Microsoft, who often lets developers keep their IPs. Inaba implies that Platinum would like to develop and self-publish their own IP at some point because we don't have our own original IP. We don't have the chance to develop it, publish it. We're not used to the cycle of making one, Inaba says. We're trying to get used to the cycle of making sequels. When asked if he considers Platinum to be part of the Japanese indie scene, Inaba replies with, "Platinum is becoming bigger, so we're kind of in limbo. But I feel like Platinum is a part of that community. When we first started, we had a lot more freedom to create what we wanted, but now we're working more with the community, listening to what they have to say and keeping open those lines of communication. Of course, we want games that sell 5 or 6 million copies, but once you start focusing on sales, we lose some of that freedom. So right now, we're focused on both." Inaba gave a non-answer when asked if they were making an original IP that they own. Inaba didn't seem to provide any answers about how they intend to ever actually fund a self-owned IP, much less self-publish it. So this I actually got from US Gamer, you can check that in the description below, and also from My Nintendo News where they gave us a nice summary of what was said. This is really interesting because as many of you guys know, Platinum Games is one of my favorite game developers of all time. They have made some of the most challenging and amazing game franchises. Personally, for me, Bayonetta is easily one of my favorite game franchises of all time. They also made The Wonderful 101. They made Vanquish, which is also one of my favorite franchises, or really just IPs. Probably top 50, definitely. Because Vanquish just did so many cool things in the era of where third-person shooters were just getting so played out. Vanquish came out and was just like a breath of fresh air to where you can freaking use jet boosters and rocket through things in that challenge mode. Oh man, I'll never forget how awesome and difficult that challenge mode was. So I really would hope that they'd be able to purchase maybe their own IP at some point. I know Sega is holding on to Bayonetta. Sega's also holding on to Vanquish, and Sega owns Mad World. Sega owns literally almost everything Platinum has done. So it would be nice if someday Platinum could purchase those IP from Sega. I think it's time for a Vanquish sequel. I would really love to see Vanquish on Nintendo NX, PS4, and Xbox One. I think the time is right, and they could take that same core gameplay, bump it up to 60 frames per second, and add in some online multiplayer in there, maybe some co-op or some 3-on-3, 4-on-4 action as far as boosting and jetting through. I think that could be really innovative and fun. And I think the only reason why there wasn't multiplayer in Vanquish 1 is just because they didn't have the time or the money to do so. So let's hope someday that Platinum can get on track with its own IPs and hopefully make some sequels to Vanquish and some of the other IPs that they've done in the past. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and also subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips, and tricks, and everything on gaming. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you for the next video. Peace.